What's up, everybody? Anton here from Dropship Lifestyle, as you probably know by now. But I wanted to get you a quick video today because I just saw a comment on our Facebook page from a guy saying he was thinking about becoming part of Dropship Lifestyle, but he heard it's tricky to get authorized to sell for the type of brands that we want with our specific method of dropshipping. And I commented, I obviously responded to him, but I did also want to record this because typically if somebody is thinking something, it means many people are. And my method or my style of teaching is to try to spread the message with the masses so I don't have to respond to a bunch of people one-off, so I could have more freedom in my life too. So let's talk about suppliers, let's talk about supplier approvals, and answer the question, can it be difficult to actually become an authorized retailer? And if you just want the simple answer, it is yes. But that is one of the reasons, ever since I started teaching this stuff way back now in 2012 when I started Dropship Lifestyle, I've always recommended finding at least 20 brands to sell for. And let me just quickly talk about why if you want to know a little bit more than that and go a little bit more than just surface deep. And we'll go to extremes, right? Let's say on one extreme of this business, you go out and before you build your store, you find one potential supplier, one brand. Well, obviously there's some problems with that, right? The first is if you reach out to that brand and say, hi, I want to sell your stuff on mystore.com, and they say no, well, now you're out of business before you even started. Well, let's just go even further and say they do approve you and they say, yeah, you could sell our stuff, let's do it. And you do, and you make a bunch of money, and 2 months later, they go out of business. What happens? Again, your business goes out of business. So one of the reasons I recommend finding at least 20 brands, again, is so that you have that security. You don't have all your eggs in one basket with one supplier, but also because, again, in the beginning, when you're a brand new store, not every brand is going to authorize you to sell their products. This isn't just about you. It's not a you thing. This happens with us even when we launch stores in new niches. So why is 20 that magic number? And again, 20 is the minimum number. It's because with a new store, again, first time you're ever doing this, even if you follow the dropship blueprint, use my phone and email scripts for supplier approvals that you can find, of course, in module 4 of the blueprint. If you do that, there's a good chance that you will only get authorized to sell for 50% of the brands you find. So if you found 20 total and you get authorized to sell for 50% of them, now you have 10 brands when you launch. And maybe you're terrible on the phone. Maybe you're super nervous. Maybe you say the wrong thing every time and you don't get 10 brands right away. Maybe you only get 5 to start, right? Well, even then, even if you only got 5 as a new store, that is still enough to start something, to get momentum, to get the ball rolling. And what's going to happen over time is you will meet the criteria of these other brands that originally said no. And let's just say, again, you are terrible with talking to people on the phone. You get all nervous. You're so nervous. You're having a conversation with somebody. Maybe it's going okay, and you hang up because you're that nervous, right? And again, you only get 5 to start. So now you have 15, again, worst case scenario, because you only found 20 that you didn't get authorized to sell for on day one. Well, what are the reasons they might deny you? Most of the time, and again, this is what will happen even to me when I'm building a new store, is they will either just say, listen, we're only bringing on new retailers that have X amount of monthly traffic, right? They're not going to say X, obviously. They're going to want to see a certain amount of monthly traffic. Or they're going to, and that means website visitors, right? So basically sharing a Google Analytics report with them or a Shopify report. Or maybe they're going to say, we want you to have X amount of monthly revenue. And the reason they're doing this is because they don't want to waste their time if you're not going to be, actually an established business that can bring them sales. So if, again, worst case scenario, 15 of your 20 suppliers told you they want to see those things in the beginning, or they even just said, no, not right now, you still start with what you can get. You get authorized to sell for the brands you can sell for. You still do things on your own or move forward through the blueprints by optimizing your store for conversions, by getting traffic, making the most of what you have. There's actually a quote I love. It's from Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt named my son's middle name. His first name's Anton. He's the 5th, but his middle name is Theodore after Teddy Roosevelt. But there's a quote from him that I love that says, do what you can with what you have where you are. And this is my thought process here. If you got 5 brands in the beginning, do what you can with that. Get the most amount of traffic you can with them, get the most amount of sales that you can with them, and then what do? Over the next 3 to 6 months, you follow up with the rest of these brands that denied you in the beginning. You get better on the phone if you get nervous. You learn how to use email properly and connect to the right people at the brands. And eventually, over time, remember, this is not like a we snap our fingers and get rich thing, but eventually over time, you have an authority site in your niche where you sell for all of the best brands and people come to you when they want to buy that niche product, whatever it is. So again, just wanted to share my thoughts on this because like I said, I did answer the guy on Facebook that asked that question, but there's more to share, so maybe I'll share this video with him too. But if you're out there and this video also helped you, do me a favor, let me know by leaving a comment. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Maybe I'll hop on and record another one of these things for you if I could talk correctly. All right, thank you everybody. I appreciate you and we'll talk soon.